You were asked this weekend about why Hillary Clinton beats you in states where income inequality is most stark, and you responded that, quote, because poor people don't vote, unquote. It was, however, Hillary Clinton, not you, who carried Democratic voters with household incomes below $50,000 a year. Clinton carried this group 55% to 44% across primaries where network exit polls have been conducted.
Well, let me just say this. One of the reasons I am running for President of the United States is to try to revitalize American democracy. It is no secret that we have one of the lowest voting turnout rates of any major country on earth. And it is also true that in the last general election we had in 2014, 63% of the American people didn't vote, and the numbers were worse for low-income people, and the numbers were worse for young people. So what we have got to do, Jake, is to not only overturn this disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision so that billionaires and super PACs are not able to buy elections. We have got to involve people, and it's not easy because so many people have given up on the political process, including a whole lot of low-income people where the voting rates are, in fact, quite low, young people who are not voting in large numbers. Our job is to bring people into the political process, to create a government which represents all of us and not just the 1%. And if there's a thing that I'm trying to do in this campaign, that is precisely what I'm trying to do, to increase the number of lower-income people who are voting, working people who are voting, young people who are voting, revitalize American democracy. And when we do that, I think we begin to change the dynamic of government in America, where it's not just big money interest who make the decisions, but ordinary people.
Are you surprised that you consistently lose lower-income Americans to Hillary Clinton?
Well, I am surprised at how well we have done in this campaign. You know, Jake, if you and I were talking 11 and a half months ago, you would not have believed that we would be here where we are right now. You would not believe that we have won 16 states at this point and that we're running very close to Secretary Clinton in general election matchups. And in fact, we're beating Trump by rather large numbers. I'm very proud of the campaign that we have run and the kinds of support that we are getting.